Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you how to stop tinkering with your golf swing and get yourself a clear plan on how to get better. I think as one of the culprits posting on YouTube every day, basically we are giving you all these little tidbits of information to actually make your golf swing better. But if you look at the top golfers in the world, whether it be Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Cameron Smith, none of them have an identical golf swing. So what is it about their golf swing which actually makes them special? The truth is, it's their ability to repeat that golf swing. Obviously the golf swing is probably more efficient than yours, and actually when it works brings more performance than yours. But a great deal of their ability, and we're talking their talent, is to coordinate and to time their golf swing every time and get a good strike and a good transfer of energy onto the golf ball every time. And one of the reasons that they're doing this is because they are doing the same thing every time. And the question is, are you? Do you actually find yourself addressing a golf ball with the identical thought processes every time? Do you find yourself on the range making the same drills, doing the same things every time? And I doubt it. I try to describe the way of improving to my students through an analogy of that all roads lead to Rome. If you've heard of that before, then you know that there's more than one way to get where you want to go. The problem for the hobby golfer is that none of you are ever going to get to Rome. And I say that really because I know I'm not in Rome either, and I will never make it. These guys we are looking at and comparing ourselves to are elite golfers. They are in the top 1% on the planet. And thinking you're ever going to get there is really ridiculous. On the other hand, the beauty of this game and the handicap system, it means that you can have a lot of fun on your way to Rome. You don't even have to get to Italy. You just have to get to a point where the practice and the work you are doing is in balance with the returns. That means that when you get to the point where you say, I know I don't do too much practice, but I'm quite happy with my performance on the golf course, you are one of those strange creatures on the planet who's actually a happy golfer. The majority of us, however, are still trying to get to Rome. And in order to get to Rome, we've got to make sure we're on the right road. And I unfortunately believe that my job is a little bit like the automobile club. I'm coming there to try and save you when you find that you've broken down on the way to Rome. You have taken that shortcut that you thought would get you there, and suddenly you're in the woods and there's no way forward. So really what you're looking for is a bit of a plan. How do I get to Rome? And it's a pretty simple thing if you think about it. If you don't know the way to Rome, you've got to ask for directions. And that's why I would recommend all of you go out and the first thing you do is look for someone to guide you there. Now, don't think that the professional on the corner is going to be a great deal worse than the professional you see on YouTube. We are just out there and we're marketing ourselves maybe a little better than the guy around the corner. But give him a try, because he may have his own way of getting to Rome, and it might well be a way that you understand. I think for sure, if you try out a few professionals, you will find quickly which ones you understand and which ones you don't. Which ones actually talk in the kind of language that you understand, and which one are basically making you more confused than they're helping. Once you've actually found that guy, stick with him. You need that second pair of eyes. Golf is a question, and learning is a question of feel versus real. And I'll talk about this more in the coming weeks and months. Because if you are stood there thinking you're doing what he's told you to do and you're not, then you're going to be practicing badly. And part of the way to Rome is basically calling the AA or the AAA in America to come and take a look at your swing even before things go pear-shaped. By getting regular lessons in a regular time period, you're going to make sure you don't practice incorrectly and that you are actually doing what you think you're doing. And then try and get a basic understanding of how you're going to make these changes. Usually it means getting down to the basics, starting with the way that you're set up to the golf ball and trying to make that identical every time. Now, I'm not saying that there is only one way to set up to the golf ball, whether your feet should be square, open or close to the target, whether your grip should be strong or weak. That's something you decide with your teacher. But once you've decided, you want to be setting up in that position every time. The human being is a creature of habit. And therefore, if he is standing in exactly the same position every time to the golf ball, well, at least he knows what sport he's playing today. Once you've actually got your setup correct, then there'll be some part of your golf swing which is causing the most problems. And it's that you've got to be working on. Too many of you are out there working on symptoms rather than working on a cure. You want to find what is the main thing that's going wrong and work on that, and you'll be amazed how a lot of these little things that have been bugging you for years disappear as if by magic. But usually it means you're going to be starting with the foundation of your golf swing. For me, that's what your legs and your hips are doing, and I'm going to be talking over the coming weeks of how you really ought to be thinking about your golf swing in order to understand it. What we're going to try and do is build a recipe, your personal recipe that you understand because it's a complementing what you're learning together with your teaching professional. And this recipe is something that you're going to take into your pre-shot routine. We've talked about this before, but you should be working in your pre-shot routine with a thing called the think box and a thing called the play box. And that means if you make any changes in your golf swing, in order to call them up on a golf course, you have got to remind yourself not to make the old movement, to make the new movement. And you do that in the think box, whether it be with a drill, with a thought process, with a practice swing. But you don't do it when you're standing over the golf ball. Once you've actually got yourself reminded and your brain in a place where it knows what you want it to do, then your job is to allow your body to do it. Don't mess about when you're standing over the golf ball. Basically, there's a simple plan to get you from problems to success. It starts by getting a decent professional or help to guide you onto the right path for success. It continues in that you practice only the things that you've learned from this guy. And then you try and remind yourself through practice and a change in your pre-shot routine that you're not going to be making the swing you made last season, you're going to be making the swing that you're making in 2023. And that is basically what I'm going to try and help you to do over the winter months this season. We're going to start with the address position. We're going to take you through the whys and wherefores of the address position. I'm then going to try and show you step by step how I would build a golf swing. And when we get to the end of that process and you know exactly which part of the golf swing you should be working on, I'm going to then help you to change your pre-shot routine and make that something which calls up automatically like a swing key your new swing for 2023. Remember, however, you are not going to be perfect at the end of this, and it's not going to come about without a lot of hard work. But if you're prepared to do the work, so am I. Get ready for it. We'll be back very soon with the first video in this new series. Until then, have a great day. We'll see you next time. And don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're a patron, thank you very much. And if you'd like to become a patron, there's a link for that. See you then.